Hello everyone and welcome to AI Sciences. I'm your instructor Shahrarsan and today we are going to learn about Amazon ElastiCache, which is used for the clustering purposes. It's going to be a tutorial for beginners and we are going to have the implementation as well. So let's get started. Now what is Amazon ElastiCache? The same way RDS is used to get managed relational databases, ElastiCache is used to get managed Redis or Memcached. If you do not know what is RDS is a service within AWS which is used to create a database, right? So cached are in-memory databases with really high performance and low latency. That means you will not have much lag within it, and it helps reduce load of databases for read-intensive workloads. It helps make your application stateless, and the good thing is that AWS takes care of OS maintenance, patching, optimizations, setup configuration, monitoring failure, recovery, and backups. So all these features they are integrated with ElastiCache. And using ElastiCache involves heavy application code changes, which is a big thing. It's not an overnight thing that it doesn't mean that you just have to enable an option which is used for the code changing and boom, you're good to go. No, you have to do some changes within your application so that it meets the requirements of ElastiCache. So looking at the architecture of ElastiCache application, we have this application over here, and then we have this Amazon ElastiCache, and let's say we have a database Amazon RDS. So in this case, the application it queries ElastiCache, and if the query is already over here in the within the Amazon ElastiCache, then it will be that state will be known as cached. All right, it helps relieve a load in RDS. Now if the same thing happens like in other case application it fetches it queries the Amazon ElastiCache, and if the query is not already within the ElastiCache, then that state will be known as cache miss. So what will happen in that state? The application it would fetch the data from Amazon RDS, it will read the data from database, and then it will write again. It will write to cache, and once it reads, the query will be already over there. So in that case, it will move on to the same state which is known as cached, and so on. It will keep on, it's like a loop. It will keep on happening. So in case it doesn't go in the state cached, it will the cache will miss, but it will read the data from database and it will write to cache, and in that case it will again move on to the cached. So take a look over here. We have this application and we have a user, and again we have the Amazon ElastiCache. So what happens is that user it logs into any of the application, right? And the application it writes the session data into the ElastiCache, okay? And then the user hits another instance of our application. So in that case, the user the instance it retrieves the data, which is known as the retrieve session, and then the user is already logged in, right? So moving forward, we have two types of ElastiCache. We have this Redis and Memcached. So let's get to know what are they. Let's get to know about the differences. So in Redis, we have multi-availability zones with auto failover, while in Memcached, we have multi-node for partitioning of data, which is known as sharding, which means that your data will be in paths. In Redis, we have read replicas to scale reads, and it has a high availability. But in Memcached, we do not have any high availability, meaning replication. Data durability it is persistent in Redis, while in Memcached it is non-persistent. And we have the backup and restore features with Redis, while in Memcached we do not have any backup and restore. And this is the main difference. We have replication in Redis. We have multiple readers, and we can replicate the data. But in Memcached, we have these masters. So in Memcached, there is sharding. There is no replication. It's dividing your data within paths. So my personal opinion is that go with Redis. It's a good feature. It integrates with good features, and it's a good option, right? So let's get our hands on with ElastiCache. Yeah. So I'm over here in my Amazon Web Services dashboard, and you can choose ElastiCache from over here if you have recently visited it, and if not, you can just type over here ElastiCache, right? So over here you may say it has some information how it works and benefits and features and so on. We already know that, and if you want to know more about it, you can read it from over here, but let's just get it implemented. So let's get started, and we are going to create a cluster now, I'm going to create a Redis cluster. As I said, it's a better option. So over here we have these options. Let's have a look at it. It says that choose a cluster creation method. Either you want to configure and create a new cluster, or you want to restore from backups. Since we do not have created any cluster before, so we are going to configure and create a new cluster. And over here it says that scale your cluster dynamically with no downtime. So if you keep it disabled, the Redis cluster will have a single shard with one primary node and up to 5 read replicas. But if you have it enabled, it will enables the replication across multiple shards. So this costs a bit more, so I'm going to keep it disabled. I don't want much replication or enhanced scalability and availability. And we can name our cluster, let's say ElastiCache is going to be the name. And then we have this location over here. Either we want it to be AWS cloud or on premises, any region we want to choose. So I'm going to choose this AWS cloud, which will be available globally. So if you want it to be multi-AZ enabled or not, I don't want it to be multi. I don't want much availability zones for it. It's good. It's even good if I have it on a single one. So I'm going to disable it. If you want the auto failover, like if like previously I did tell you about the failover, which means that within 30 seconds it revives. So yeah, it's a good option. Now we have these cluster settings. We have the engine version. I'm going to keep it default. We have the standard port number 6379. Great. We have the parameters. I'm going to keep them default. And we have this cache type. I'm going to keep it the simple one, the basic one. I don't want the large one. So if you see over here, do we have a smaller one? Do we? Yeah, we have this one, which is a smaller one. And anything else lesser than that in M class? No, I don't think so. It's T3. Yeah, we have this T2 small, which is the basic, the smallest class. It has 1.5 gigabyte of memory, and it's used for the low to moderate network performance. So do we need number of replicas? So I don't want any replica. I'm going to keep it 0. All right, so if it is kept 0, it will remove the multi-AZ feature, because you are not creating any replica. But if you even keep it 1, it won't say anything. So I'm going to keep it 0. And I'm going to choose the existing subnet group, which is this one, and it's telling you about the associated subnets with it. Alright, that is great. And do you want any availability zone placements, anything? I'm going to keep it no preference. So yeah, that's all, and let's just move on next. So we have the advanced settings. We have encryption at rest, where it says that if you enable it, the data, it will encrypt the data stored on the disk. And we have this encryption in transit. If you enable it, it will say access control. And if you choose this Redis authorization default user access, it will ask for any token, right? Like you can choose any token, right? And you can use that token onwards. So I'm not gonna enable it. I want it disabled. Yeah, all good. And we have this backup, enable automatic backups. Okay, I don't even want that one, because we are using it for the testing purposes, right? And then we have the maintenance window. Either you want it to be you want to prefer something for it, no preference. Auto upgrade the minor version, just like use in every feature, in every service. We have the logs, which is a good option for the developers, and since we are using it for testing, so keep it disabled. Let's go next. So we have all this information over here: the location, the cluster info, the cluster settings, subnet group, and then the advanced settings, which we just configured right now. So yeah, we're good to go. I'm going to create it now. And as you can see, the cluster was created successfully. All right, now it is being created, and let's have a glance at it. I'm going to click on it, and you may see that we have all these cluster details. We have this node type, which we chose as T2, the basic class, the small one. And we have this auto failover disabled. We have the parameter group. We have all this information over here, right? And if you want to have a look at more information, you can choose metrics, you can choose logs. We have it disabled. Network and security, the maintenance and backups, and all that, right? So yeah, that is how you create a cluster. That is how you work with ElastiCache. and make sure that once it is created, you go on over here, you go to actions, and you delete it. And it can be deleted right now, so I'm going to delete it. I guess it will delete. I do not have any backup, and I'm going to type over here. Okay, it says type ElastiCache, and let's just delete it. So it says it is not valid to be deleted because it is being created. So once it gets created, just make sure to delete it because it may cost you something. So yeah, that is how we work with ElastiCache. We learned what is ElastiCache. We learned the difference between the Redis and the Memcached, and so on. We had a glance at the working of ElastiCache, and we had our hands on with it. So if you learned something out of it, do like the video and subscribe to our channel AI Sciences. I hope to see you guys soon. Until then, have a good day.